Hey, what's up, y'all? Marjek79 here. Welcome to 2022. This is my first action figure video of the year, and I figured why not start it off big. Let's do some Dragon Ball stuff, man. So today we are going to go through the top 10 greatest SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures of all time. This was an extremely difficult video to make. I did my darndest to not pick my favorite characters and just go off of the best aspects of the action figure itself. I am a Dragon Ball fan through and through. This was a very difficult selection to make without being biased in picking my favorite characters. Obviously, if I were just going to pick my favorite characters, it would be a list full of Gokus, Vegetas, and Gohans. Like I said, I did my best to pick out the best action figure aspects, the accessories, to give y'all a definitive SH Figuarts Dragon Ball list. I have been collecting these action figures for well over 5 years now, at least the SH Figuarts line. So hopefully y'all can appreciate the effort that went into creating this video. We're going to have a top 10 and 3 honorable mentions. All right, man, without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Super Saiyan 4 Goku. This one was a no-brainer to put on the list. Yeah, honestly, it was hard not moving him further up on the list. This figure was darn near perfect. It was a little bit loose in the articulation. The Kamehameha, the 10 times, that accessory that it came with, the extra peg to plug it into his hand, the new 3.0 articulation design with the extra articulation in the shoulder and the hips. I feel like that came out good. Little bit of hip disjointment in the inner thigh area there. It's not really that big of a deal, but those faces and that hair sculpt came out perfect. Basically, had no complaints with this figure at all whatsoever. And that's why it gets number 10. I have always been a fan of Dragon Ball GT. The Super Saiyan 4 transformation has always been one of my personal favorites. Number 9, the 100% Jiren. I had to include this figure on the list. The aesthetically pleasing aspects of the figure are top-notch. The muscle definition, he actually has shading, which is something that has become rare in the SH Figuarts line, so you gotta appreciate that. The articulation is top-notch. He does not have the shoulder arm peg issue like the original Jiren does. Face sculpts come out good. Color patterns are perfect. Virtually had no complaints on this figure at all whatsoever. And he just poses so well. So such an iconic character from the Tournament of Power. This is a must-have for your Dragon Ball collection. I still prefer the Jiren with the clothes on the main show, because that's how he appeared throughout the majority of the Tournament of Power. But if you want to get like a final action battle pose with this Jiren with a Super Saiyan Goku and a Final Form Frieza, you cannot go wrong here. Number 8, we have Recoom of the Ginyu Force. I knew I wanted to add at least one member of the Ginyu Force to the list, and honestly it came down to Recoom, Captain Ginyu, and Jace. And just from an aesthetically pleasing standpoint, through the articulation and the shading, I feel like Recoom came out the best out of the 5. This is just such an amazing figure. When it comes to classic Dragon Ball Z, where the majority of us fell in love with the series between the Saiyan Saga and the Namekian Saga, Recoom is such an essential character that you need to add onto your shelf. His embarrassment battle against Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin is legendary among villain statuses. He is such an amazing figure. He is a must-have. The accessories that he comes with comes in the Namekian Dragon Ball. The Ginyu Force armor comes out good. Only thing I kind of wish that he would come out with a battle damaged version. That would be amazing too. But this version that we got of him with the articulation and the muscle definition, the shading and the size comparison just was substantially perfected. And I'm so happy to have him on the shelf. Number 7, we have a Super Vegeta from the Cell Saga. But ignore the Super Saiyan God Vegeta head sculpt that's on top of the body. We actually have the Super Vegeta head sculpt on top of a Trunks body from the Cell Saga because I needed an extra body for the Super Saiyan Godhead sculpt that came with the Super Saiyan Blue. So we took our Super Vegeta body and we put that head sculpt on top of him. So the height requirements would match up with our other Vegetas. And you can kind of get away with it here if you pose this Vegeta with the other figures here. This is the definitive Vegeta, in my opinion. There's kind of a tie between the Super Vegeta and the Broly movie Vegeta. I mean, it's exactly the same articulation, basically comes with the same accessories as well. The folded arms, extra fists, extra hands, all the faces come out good, comes with the stoic and the screaming. Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. Like I said, when it comes to one Vegeta, if you could only get one, I would definitely go with the Cell Saga Super Vegeta or the Broly movie Vegeta. Number 6, Android 16. It's so crazy that out of all of the androids, 17, 18, and Cell himself, 16 ended up getting the best action figure. From the articulation, movable joints on top of the shoulder pads there, the face sculpts, articulation aspect to be able to remove the wrist gauntlets to reveal the Hell Flash maneuver. This is such a good figure, man, especially for a character that didn't really last too long throughout the saga. He is slept on too. I honestly don't know too many collectors that has this figure, so I consider myself very lucky to have this rare figure on my shelf. I don't think he's too expensive either. I feel like he's still a manageable price. He's somewhere in between 100 and 150. So I think he originally retailed for like 70. If you don't have an Android 16 in your collection, I think he's a must-have. I mean, he was the main motivation to cause Gohan to go Super Saiyan 2. He also comes with that head sculpt as well. The perfect way to add some iconic scenes to your shelf. Number 5, Super Buu. From the accurate height, the articulation, the accessories that this figure came with, you can't ask for too much more when it comes to a figure like Super Buu. He came out perfect. Just that the fact he's able to sit down and just chill along with his fellow Majin brethren. I think this is probably one of the major reasons that we never got a Kid Buu, because this figure just came out so well. People just use this one as both aspects of Buu when they're making out their shells. Came out so good, man. And then he is an absolute must-have for your Majin Buu saga to add onto your shelf. Number 4, Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku. When it comes to the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball line, if you're looking for that first figure to get you started, this is a perfect figure to do so. This is the most iconic look for Goku. This is the look for Goku how I originally first got into the manga. Aside from the Enlightenment Doji on the front there, swap that out with the Turtle Hermit Sigma, and this is the Goku that we all originally remember from Toonami from the 90s when he was taking on Vegeta in the Saiyan Saga. This is a must-have figure. Like, if you don't appreciate this version of Goku, I don't even see how you're a Dragon Ball fan to begin with. This is where it all started, if you don't count the original Dragon Ball manga. But in the 90s, this was the one. I could easily say the Super Saiyan Blue Goku body is right up there with it. Honestly, either one. It just depends on which version of Dragon Ball you hopped into, either Z or Super. They're both equally as good. And personally, I edge out the Saiyan Saga Goku because that's the one I knew as a child, and I consider them both great starting points to the figure game and must-haves for your Dragon Ball Z or Super collection. Number 3, the SH Figuarts Cooler. If you've seen my most recent review of this figure, you will undoubtedly know and understand how great this figure is. It was an absolute shock how good this figure ended up being. Aside from the height representation compared to how he was supposed to look in the movie, I think this figure is perfect. From the articulation to the shading. I would have liked if he would have came with at least one energy blast, but honestly, I really didn't need it. I've got him posed with the Death Beam finger. Comes with an additional face sculpt as well. This was great. I hope they eventually make Metal Cooler and First Form Cooler. That would be cool as well. I would get those figures in a heartbeat myself. Number 2, Final Broly. 100% from Dragon Ball Super, the movie Broly. This is what you want when you purchase an SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figure. This is what you come to expect when you're preparing to spend the kind of money that these figures cost. This is the kind of quality that you hope to get every single purchase. Unfortunately, that does not happen all the time, but usually the majority of the time we are dropped on something special when we receive a figure like this. This is a must-have. This is the definition. If you collect Dragon Ball figures, why do you not have this figure? How do you not have this figure yet if you collect these figures? Out of all these figures, you gotta have a Broly. You gotta have at least one. If not this one, you gotta have this one. Or this one. He is such a definitive character. And he's not even a part of the actual manga until just recently. But you gotta have a Broly, and I choose this one as the major one to be represented in every Dragon Ball SH Figuarts collector's shelf. For sure, by far. The articulation, the face sculpts, the coloring, the shading, it all came out perfectly. Honorable mention 1, Demon King Piccolo. When it comes to the original manga Saga figures, I believe Demon King Piccolo is the best one. From the height difference and accuracy to the articulation, the numerous accessories that he comes with, his egg, the face sculpts, to be able to put that torso on when he's getting his stomach blown out. You gotta love it, man. This is a must-have. If you have any of the original manga Dragon Ball figures, like the Goku or the Jackie Chun, the Krillin, you have to have the Demon King Piccolo. It's a must-have. Honorable mention to First Form Frieza. He makes the list just for the sheer effort that went into this figure. He comes with his pod, for God's sakes. You gotta appreciate that, man. I still have my Dragon Stars First Form Frieza in the pod, but the articulation and the other accessories that this figure came with, he can pose them with the scouter, without the scouter, with the death ball, without the death ball. You gotta love it, man. Honorable mention 3, Great Ape Vegeta. If you collect these figures, this is such an iconic attempt for the SH Figuarts line. This was really their first attempt to try to branch out and see how devoted the fans were, to see if they could create figures like this. I feel like their first attempt at a giant figure like this came out great. Obviously, it's not 100% accurate to the rest of the figures here. I mean, the figure retailed for like 160, I believe, so it was already expensive enough. Any bigger than that, we would have gotten it to the $250, $300 range if you wanted a more accurate height difference. But at least they included a Goku that he could hold on to give us that iconic scene of him squeezing the life out of Goku. But I love this figure, man. Missing some shading here and there, but just the attempt that they had, the bravery to attempt this figure, you have to appreciate. And that's why he is our final honorable mention. All right, so let's go to our number 1 of all time SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figure. Let's do it. Number 1, Awakening Super Saiyan Goku. This is the one. This is the one. If you've ever been a Dragon Ball Z, Super, or GT fan in your life, I have no doubt that this is the one, this is the scene that solidified your status as being a Dragon Ball fan for life. This is the one. It has the greatest scene and the greatest figure. The battle-torn, battle-damaged Goku reaching the Super Saiyan level, the legendary Super Saiyan, for the first time. There's no other way to distinguish this figure not being a must-have. You must have this figure. This figure right here. I don't care what you have to pay for it. Luckily, I was gracious enough to get him retail. I also have another as well, sealed, and he will be locked up forever. I don't really even show that sealed figure off because I just have so much admiration for it. But this is the one, man. If you weren't even that big of a Dragon Ball fan and you just wanted something of the anime to be represented on your figure shelf, this would be the one to get. Maybe with a golden Super Saiyan aura to put around him as well. But this is definitely by far the greatest Dragon Ball figure of all time. Iconically and aesthetically, figuratively. You gotta have it. This is number 1, at least in my opinion. But if your opinion differs from me, feel free to comment below in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Do you agree with it? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you have a completely different set of figures that you would have included into the top 10? How about some more honorable mentions? Do you think I missed anybody? I believe I missed tons. I love all of these figures. I really do, in their own way or form. That is going to do it. I think next on the horizon for me, for Dragon Ball, should be the androids. I've seen people already start to get their Tournament of Power androids 17 and 18 in, so hopefully I should be getting mine here shortly as well. So stay tuned for that, as always. Thanks everybody for watching. You can follow me at youtube.com/smartjack79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We try to cover as much Dragon Ball information as possible, from the figures to the manga to the movies to the anime. Hopefully the anime comes back sometime soon. We're already almost 2 sagas out in the manga. I really feel like it's time for the show or the anime to make its return to us so we can have more to talk about. I can't wait. 2022, man, let's do it. Let's live to all of our hopes and dreams, right? Oh yeah. All right, share this video out, man. Let's get it done. Let's blow this channel up. Let's do it. I will see you guys on the next one, as always. I'll catch you guys later.